Welcome to Chase's Rapid Fire Gear Reviews. This is the Canon R5 and it's the camera that I personally own and shoot with. And so I feel like I can give a pretty good perspective on what's good about this camera and what isn't so good. First of all, let me just say that this is an incredible camera. I've shot some of my favorite images ever on this, and I know that with the 45 megapixels and great still image quality, they're gonna hold up. When I edit photos, I can really go to town and change all the things I want. If a sky is blown out, I can usually just recover it. If it's too dark, the shadow or detail recovery is excellent. So I'm really happy with this camera from a photography standpoint. For reference, I came from a Canon 6D Mark II, and this is a huge upgrade in literally every way. I mean, the functionality of the body is great. It feels really good in the hand, but it's not too big. On the back, you'll see that it has a joystick, which is really nice for moving the focusing point, and all the buttons are just sort of like thoughtfully laid out, and I really appreciate the new screen on the top here for getting a quick view of your settings. And overall, I think it's a great camera. I'm glad that it has a new RF mount because I think a lot of exciting things are going to happen with the mount. But the video is a little more complicated. For reference, I've been shooting a lot of videos recently with one of my friends who has an Arri Alexa Mini. I've been shooting on the Red Komodo. I've been shooting on the Canon C70 and Canon C300 Mark II series of cameras, and maybe I'm spoiled because of that, but I'm noticing a lot of little things with this camera. One is that the 8K video is actually not really better than the 4K. I've talked to a lot of colorists about it, and when I work with colorists, they tell me that the 8K RAW is supposed to have like more bit depth, but it really doesn't. It acts like the 4K footage. So that was kind of disappointing. Another thing is that the 4K video doesn't really have this cinematic look that I would want it to have. Like the C70 has a really great video image, and the R5 just falls a little bit short of it. But I would trust it for professional video applications because, again, it's miles better than a lot of the competition, and Canon makes cameras that do great video. It has great IQ, it has great autofocus, the dynamic range is pretty good. And so overall, I'm happy with it, but I really love shooting projects on higher end cameras because they're really made for that. I haven't really had issues with overheating. That's, the huge topic of this camera, because I'm not filming for 10 minutes straight at a time. I'm filming little clips here and there, and I'm filming, I do 4K 120, but I'm not filming for 5 minutes straight. So I don't have problems with that. And I live in California, and it gets pretty hot, but that's not an issue for me. So overall, I would say that the hype is real for this camera, but also a lot of the criticism can be a little overblown. Again, the video isn't great, but the photography more than makes up for it. So I'd really, really recommend this camera if you want great photo and you're also going to do some video.